Good morning. So today I would like to show you my day of color as experienced by the Allie Edwards community. Now with mine, I did it just a little bit different because day in the life for me is exactly just that, day in the life. The community did it as like a scavenger hunt for colors. And when they did that, it kind of threw me for a loop. I'm not gonna lie there. Because for me, scrapbooking is a way that I try to leave a footprint of my life, my world, for my children, my grandchildren, for the future generations. The reason I am so adamant about that is because my grandmother was a storyteller. I love grabbing her old stuff, looking at her life, her times, her grandmother's times, and her great-grandmother's. And I literally have all that. I have photos and stories back to the 17 and 1800s. I am so blessed. With that, I just feel like I need to continue that tradition. Excuse me. And I am formatting and formulating plans to be that storyteller. And I think every generation has a storyteller. I am obsessed with when a famous person dies, how fast their biographies hit the news and how we know everything about them. You know, like when the Queen died, it was like, boom, instantly we knew this is what she looked like as a little girl, and this is where she was, and this is where she went. And they just threw her story everywhere. That's what I want. I want my children and my grandchildren and their children to always be able to know who and where they were. So when I spend the time and the energy to do these things and these projects and the money, I want my authentic stories and their stories to be in them. Not just, here's an orange, here's a banana, here's that. I mean, they can be in there as well, but I want my time, my energy to be in that. So with that being said, this is my take on Day in the Life 2023. I use the packaging, excuse me, because again, I'm adamant about using product as it comes. I used an album that I had in my stash because I'm going to use every one of the mini kits in here. And I'm going to use the packaging of each of the mini kits to separate them as it fits because this is already chunky. I may not get all of them in there because I am a little long-winded in my storytelling. I put an Avery Index tab up here, and I have all my Allie Edwards labels like this as I get them. I punch a hole in them, I have them in a ring, and I do this with them. So what I did was I went through and I looked for colored labels, and I stuck an Avery Index tab, and I put this one up here, right now. It just seemed kind of fit. I used my 3-inch hole punch, and I used the hole punch in the packaging to start. I thought this cloud paper was perfect. I had both the physical and the digital kit. So I used the digital to make this paper, and then I used the digital underneath and the physical on top, and then I used some of my fibers out of my collection to do that. I used the digital paper here. My husband did observation 1, and I put Dan's thoughts. One thing I learned going through my grandmother's papers and her stories is it's very important to put whose thoughts they are. Not just put his, hers, but to put the date and whose it was. Because, you know, you're going to know when you look at my albums who Dan is. That's my husband. And my friend Kristen, she's adamant about saying, date stamp, date stamp, date stamp. So even digitally, I'm starting to date stamp. So I have the date here, but I also put the wrong year, I noticed just now. But it's 2023 and I put 2020, so I'll have to put something over that, but or reprint it. But it's kind of funny that I put the wrong year. I don't know why I guess that's because that's the year we got married. That's funny. I guess it was on my mind. But because April 1st is our anniversary. But that's funny. I'll have to fix that. But I put my observations, and then he gave me one there. I recolored the digital stamps, And then for yellow, I used some colors and photos from where we ate. I used one of the digital stamps from the Week in the Life kit, recolored. Jessica Luther was like my inspiration for this format here. Then I used the physical kit to use on these. Physical here, I used some of, like I said, the word stamps here. Then I went with what the community was doing here on the back. And I just put like a dump of different things. My husband's hands on his phone because he's always playing his little game. Then I did black. I did a flip out here. As you can see, we went to a mixology event. Our cat. Then these were the tickets from the event from the pop-up shop. A quote, "Women who wear black live colorful lives." I just love quotes. I actually did my day in the life over 2 days, and I put that in the journaling because for me to be authentic, I have to capture the people that matter to me. And with it being focused on color, I couldn't do it. It just wasn't working for me. So I did it over 2 days so that I could get the people to stay authentic to what mattered to me. So I did over 2 days. It really wasn't a day in the life. It was 2 days in a life, but I got what I wanted. So I have, the red car, which is my husband got us for Christmas last year. Talked about that, how I call it the Barbie car. My little grandson, how it was raining. I went with the red. My little granddaughter, she's so sassy. She makes little faces. My niece, how she's got my little heart. My grandson and my daughter. The blue things, little Tommy boy, my granddaughter, my husband and I, my little twins, my nieces, the story about this, my grandchildren, going up the slide, an orange flower, orange things, my grandchildren and my daughter, our dog, my little grandson, stories about him, green, another alley. And I just changed it to white. And that's what I love about the digital. You can change the colors in them to match whatever you're doing. Pink, my little granddaughter, she's my heart. Crumble cookie, it just is my everything. Crumble, when I'm having a bad day, my husband will stop and get me crumble cookie. And it just changes everything for me. The drinks from the mixology event. Harper, it's a blurry picture. But the thing about it is, it's all the emotion. She loves Peppa Pig. I mean, I could have used this one, which is a better picture for the big one, but there was so much emotion here, I just couldn't. I know you're probably thinking, how are these pictures white? They are. She was the champagne girl at the mixology event. She's all in white, but the lighting was so poor in there. And the girl that's in the drink cup, she's in all white, but they're all white. But the lighting was poor. But you know what? Sometimes even a poor picture is a picture and it's a memory. And you can see she has all these little champagnes around it. But you know what? It's a memory for us. And, that's what I'd like to make sure you understand with memory keeping. I think so many people get caught up in the fact of, my pictures aren't like Heidi Swaps, or my pictures aren't like Allie Edwards, or my pictures aren't like Lisa Varshine's. It's okay. These are your memories. And you know what? Your memories are yours. And your family is never going to know that it's not somebody else's. Because when they grab these books, they're looking at your memories, their family's memories, and how you put them together. There is no right. There is no wrong. It's just your stories, and you're putting them down, and that's all that matters. Put them down, print the photos. So my last page was the everyday colors, and I used the physical page, and I printed little quotes because I am obsessed with quotes, and I used a quarter rounder. And if you don't have a corner rounder, this is my absolute favorite. And I got it on Amazon, and it's a 3-way, and you can see it's got 3 different sizes. I am obsessed with this thing. It makes every little thing just a little bit better. I use it all the time. And then I just drew lines down here and just wrote why I did the project my way. And then this is the physical that came in the kit. I used some polka dot paper to bring it all together, the packaging again, and finished it off. So you can see that's my quick little day in the life times 2 days, and I finished it off. But if you have any questions about where anything came from, and it's mostly Allie Edwards, just let me know. But I'm here if you have questions, like I said, and I appreciate you watching.